Hello and welcome to Across Louisiana. My name is Steve Sawyer, your host for the program, and we thank you so much for being a part of the show today. Our first guest is Nichole Azevedo. Nichole is the Marketing and Fundraising Coordinator for the Kelly Gibson Foundation. Kelly is a great friend of ours who Kelly just does so much for this community, and she's going to be talking about the upcoming Night of Jazz, the golf tournament, Crescent City Classic that Kelly's foundation is a part of, and just a little bit about the Kelly Gibson Foundation itself. Destinie Hammond is going to be with us. Destinie is the Communications Associate for the Louisiana SPCA, and she's brought along a friend, Bam Bam, who you'll be able to meet, and just such a wonderful dog. And she's going to talk about the association and how you can adopt some of the pets and so forth. Darryl Durham is a good friend of ours. He's the Artistic and Community Engagement Director for St.Anna's Church, and they've got a fundraiser coming up, and he's going to tell you how you can be a part of that. And finally, Peggy Mendoza. Peggy is the Executive Director and Vice President for City Year New Orleans, and they have their annual Schoolhouse Rock event coming up, and she's going to be giving information on how you can be a part of that. A great show lined up for today, and again, we thank you for being a part of the program, and we'll be right back. And welcome back to Across Louisiana. Thank you so much for being a part of the show today. Our first guest, Nichole Azevedo. Nichole is the Marketing and Fundraising Coordinator for the Kelly Gibson Foundation. And Nichole, I love having Kelly on the show, but I got to say it's quite an improvement having you on the show, sitting there in his place. He'll kill me for saying that. Kelly was supposed to be here today, but he got called away. Kelly does just such an incredible job representing New Orleans and the community. And I know that you're new to the Kelly Gibson Foundation. I believe you've been there for
1 year.
1 year.
I made my 1 year anniversary in January.
Well, you're working for a great organization and a great guy who really believes, if anybody believes in the city of New Orleans, it's Kelly Gibson. We got a lot we want to talk about with the foundation itself. I could go on and on and on about all that Kelly does. Before the segment, though, you mentioned the mission statement, which I think sums it up pretty good about who you guys represent. And who was that?
So our mission is, we're a community-driven charity dedicated to improving the lives of those who live in New Orleans and the surrounding areas, with an emphasis on military initiatives and youth athletics.
And you know, Kelly being a PGA Tour golfer, everybody thinks that the foundation is all about golf. And it is and it isn't, because with the military, you do so much stuff with the military. Night of Jazz is a huge event that Kelly does. Silent auction, I don't know how many items you guys have.
Probably about 120 by the end of it. So.
And if you're a sports enthusiast, I mean, there's so much.
Our event is the event to come to.
And your website, kellygibsonfoundation.org, has all the information on the Night of Jazz.
Correct.
And you were mentioning that it's almost sold out. It's
almost sold out. Yeah, we have about 50 tickets remaining, and we do have some partnership opportunities available. That includes you get sponsorship representation as well as 2 tickets to the event.
Oh,
so
cool.
We have about 50 of those that remain.
Okay, and you're still looking for partners to do silent auction if you
Yes,
if I got
and we are still collecting auction items for the event.
Okay. All right.
So if you're interested in participating, you could do that through our website as well.
And I won't go into it, but I know he does, because I'm involved in it, he does a golf tournament the next day. It is sold out.
It is sold out.
I just want to mention that.
That is almost sold out a year in advance.
I mean, it's an incredible golf tournament. So the only thing I can say about the golf tournament is if you're not playing this year, you missed it.
Yes.
You better get in line for next year, and it sells out so quick. So with all of that, Crescent City Classic, let's talk about that, because you guys are very much involved in that.
Yeah, this is a very exciting event for us. This is the 3rd year that we participated. This year we have the privilege of being partnered with Youth Run NOLA, which is a wonderful organization. They empower underdeserved youth through running. So we are very excited about that. We are still recruiting runners to run on behalf of Team KGF and Youth Run NOLA. We have about 25 bibs remaining for that. So if you want to get involved, that's one way you can get involved.
Now, is there an entry fee to get into the classic?
So the entry fee is waived if you agree to fundraise for charity.
Oh,
and
wow.
You just raise a $200 minimum, and you get pre and post race access to prime gathering areas. You get a charity bib and t-shirt. and access to our private party VIP tent after the race.
Oh, so what you're doing then, I mean, it's a part of the Classic, but it's like you're having your own little part of that. I mean, your own little piece of the Classic.
Yeah, so we have it's 12 charities that are chosen to participate each year.
That's cool.
And we're one of the lucky members.
Charities.
Yep.
Well, Nichole, you got, again, the foundation does such a wonderful job. Congratulations on being on board. I know you do a lot with that, and I would just say best of success for all the upcoming things that you're involved in. I know it's a lot. Please, please, please come back on the show.
Of course.
We'd much rather have you here than Kelly.
I'm going to tell him
you
said that.
No, but listen, Kelly's a very close friend. For many years, Kelly was Cox ambassador, and to this day, he still does a lot of stuff with us. So, again, all the best of success for Night of Jazz and the Crest City Classic. Thanks so much for taking time to be on the show. Stay with us. We'll be right back. And welcome back to Across Louisiana. We are just so happy to have Destinie Hammond in the studio today. Destinie is the Communications Associate for the Louisiana SPCA. And Destinie, you have brought a friend.
I have.
Bam Bam. And hey, how are you? Good to see you.
You know your name.
Good to see you. But I mean, just a wonderful, wonderful animal that you brought in today. Just such a great disposition, everything. And you said he was 2 years old. Before we get into that, talk a little bit about SPCA. Hey, buddy, how you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. He's such a good man.
Well,
talk about the SPCA and what you do and so forth.
The Louisiana SPCA is a great organization in Louisiana. We provide a lot of services for animals as well as our community. We adopt out animals. We provide wellness and spay-neuter services for our community. We also do foster. We transport to shelters across the United States to save more animals. You know, we're just working towards bettering the general animal welfare for animals in our state.
You guys do such a great job. Now, you're new. How long have you been there?
I've been at the SPCA for a year. I've been in this position just for a few months.
And they said, go get on TV real quick.
Yeah, pretty much.
Let's talk about spaying and neutering. It's so critical right now, and I believe you've got a program in place that you guys are doing right now to help out.
Yes, we began earlier this year. We're offering a discounted price for spay-neuter surgeries for Orleans Parish residents. They can get their spay-neuter surgery for cats, dogs, no matter the size, for $20.15 from now until August. With that service, you can also get a $10 microchip, or you can, and also for Orleans Parish, you can get a feral cat spayed or neutered for $10.
Now, the microchip, that is locate lost animals, or is that what that does?
It's not. Some people think that the microchip is like a GPS. It's not.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
Right.
Okay.
What happens is if your animal's ever lost and it ends up in an animal shelter or a veterinary clinic, they'll scan them, and that microchip number will pop up, and it's linked to all your information, all your contact information.
Now, your website is la-spca.org. We'll put that on the screen. All the information about the SPCA can be found on the website as far as adopting. And, I mean, is there on the website, is there animals that are available for adoption and everything? Because I know you do, and we were talking earlier, I know you do more than dogs and cats.
Yes, we have had a wide variety of animals come through our doors, and we just launched a new website, and so our adoptable animals are listed. Right now we have cats, dogs, and I think our last bunny was just adopted. So right now it is only cats and dogs.
Okay. Now, when you talk about the spay and neutering program, you say it's for Orleans Parish residents only. I'm thinking you have to provide something that says
some sort of verification,
driver's license or
utility bill, something like that. That'll probably just have your name and address.
Okay. Now, how much of a savings is that from what it would normally cost?
Well, normally the spay neuter surgery depends on the size of the dog.
Okay.
Nice big boy like Bam Bam here.
Money.
Right. It'll be I believe it'll be $75 for over a certain amount of pounds, I believe.
Okay.
But
so it's a great deal.
Exactly.
I mean, it needs to be done, and it's a great deal.
It is completely vital.
Bam Bam's adoptable, right?
Yes, Bam Bam here is a 2-year-old pit bull mix.
He is
sweet boy, will smile at you, and very comfortable, as you can see.
Yeah. Great attitude.
He is adoptable. He's currently in foster right now. he's getting a head start on some training, you know, correcting some behavior problems. He likes to jump and get in your face and give you lots of kisses.
Oh, gosh.
So he's working on improving those behaviors.
Well, Destinie, thank you so much for being on the show. Please, please come back from time to time and bring more of the adoptable pets that you have there, and we can learn more about the SPCA. Bam Bam, it's been good to have you on the show. He's been as good as guest as we've had on the show. So stay with us. We got a few more guests. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Across Louisiana. Again, thank you so much for being a part of the show today. It's always great to have good friends on the show, and it's always a pleasure to welcome back Darryl Durham. Darryl is the Artistic and Community Engagement Director for St.Anna's Church. Darryl, thank you for being back on the show. Greatly appreciate it.
It's always a pleasure.
I'm sorry you had to follow Bam Bam there.
Well, in the industry they tell you never follow animals or kids.
Well, you're so
nevertheless.
good. You're so good, we thought we'd let you do that anyway. Yeah. But thank you so much for coming back. St.Anna's Anna's Place. Talk a little bit, if you will, before we've got a big event coming up, but talk a little bit about the organization and sort of your mission and some successes and so forth.
Well, if you remember in the past, we've actually had two missions. Anna's Arts for Kids, which focused on kids in the community, providing academic and arts education, as well as helping them with social development and community engagement. And we had St. Anna's Medical Mission, which provided outreach, both mental and physical health care screening, with the big blue bus that traveled around the city. Over the years, though, we found that our community kind of thought of us as the same thing, and we thought about just combining the missions. And so this year we finally combined the missions into a new name, which is called Anna's Place. So we're pretty much doing the same thing, but we're now working a lot closer together to provide services.
Bigger organization as well, right?
Big organization. We've got more staff now. And it really is very significant because we're finding that the work that we're doing is really taking hold. And so we're very happy with the growth and development that we're seeing.
Okay, and your website is STANNA.org.
That's correct.
All the information about the new organization can be found on that site and everything.
Definitely.
Now, I was reading something about young children. With you cater to young children?
We cater actually, for years we've catered to children, and now we're catering to the entire family.
Okay.
And what we've found is that all our families need help with medical access, all our families need help with social services, and what we're finding is that the parents looked at what we were doing with the kids, and they said, well, we're seeing the success you're having with our children. We'd love it if you could do the same for us.
Okay.
And so our program is now beginning to focus not just on children, but on the entire family and on the entire community.
Great. So let's talk about the event coming up on April the 18th, the Dodwell House Extravaganza.
The Extravaganza, our host is Tony Leggio again with Miss Elizabeth Bouvier. This year our guest artist is Topsy Chopman and Sounds of Harmony. We also have the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence. I'll let your imagination run wild with that.
Sign me up.
And then we have the Treme Choir, which has performed over the past few years, and they're going to be doing excerpts from Guys and Dolls. And so it's a great show. It's an opportunity to raise funds for the Dodwell House, which will become the eventual home of Anna's Place. And our goal is to create an actual Episcopal school where we can educate the kids in the community during the school day, and then after school we'll continue to bring in kids from surrounding schools as an after-school program and a Saturday Arts Academy. But we'll also begin to work with the adults in the community with adult education. So everything that community could utilize to help improve the community will be in one place.
That's awesome. What's the cost for this?
The tickets are $70.
Okay.
It's on the 18th.
Per
that you
person?
said. $70 per person, yes, April 18th. But you're going to get some great food, wonderful entertainment. There'll be a silent auction. We're still looking to receive auction items. So if anyone would like to donate, they can certainly go to our website. They can purchase a ticket on our website and just find out a lot more about what we're doing.
Well, and let me just point out, too, one thing that was pointed out to me is all of this is tax deductible because it is a nonprofit. And honestly, I never even thought about that. Even though you're spending money for a great organization, it also is when it comes time to do your taxes, which is not too far from now.
No,
it's a nice tax. But Darryl, thank you. Always, you guys are more than welcome to be on the show. You do such a great job with our community. We love having you here, and best of success with the upcoming extravaganza. Please continue to come back. Next time we won't let you follow in the animal
that's okay. I don't mind.
We have one more guest. Stay with us. We'll be right back. welcome back to Across Louisiana. As always, we save our best for last, or at least we like to tell our last guest that anyway. And we are very happy to have Peggy Mendoza. Peggy's a good friend of ours. She is the Executive Director and Vice President for City Year New Orleans. Peggy, welcome back.
Thanks.
Congratulations on all the success you guys have. You do such an incredible job for this city. And you know, the one thing I love about this show is we get to talk about organizations like yourself and all the great things that they're doing. Talk a little bit, if you will, about the mission of the organization and some of the successes that you had. Then we'll get into the School Rock program.
Well, thank you for having me and saving me for last, so appreciate that. And you know, City Year came to Louisiana after Hurricane Katrina. It's actually an organization that's in its 20th year. We started in Boston, but our mission is to bring young people and to do service in the cities, hence the name, City Year. So the idea is that young people should do a year of service in their city. And so we recruit young people from all over the country to come serve in New Orleans, and we put them in teams of 10 into some of our most challenging public schools.
Now, do they know where they're going? Or?
They have to pick. They have to choose, because we have 26 sites across the country. So when they start applying, they have to pick City Year New Orleans, City Year Baton Rouge, City Year Miami, City Year Boston, et cetera. And so they are purposely choosing to serve here in New Orleans.
Okay. Now, how do they know they want to do this? Is it a program that they're already involved in?
Yeah, so they're choosing to be an AmeriCorps member. So we are an AmeriCorps program that was started by Bill Clinton, and the thought is it's like an urban Peace Corps. So much like you and I had the option, if we wanted to serve, we could go to the military or we could serve in the Peace Corps. Young people today have the option to serve in their own country in organizations like City Year in the AmeriCorps program.
That is. Do a lot of the residents after working here, do you think they stay here?
Absolutely. We have about 50% of our Corps members end up staying in New Orleans, and then about 40% of them stay in the education space.
That's great. That alone is a success. Real quick, let's talk about Schoolhouse Rock. That's a great program you guys do.
Yeah, we're really excited. It's our annual event coming up April 9th. Mayor Landrieu and First Lady Cheryl Landrieu are our honorary co-chairs, and we're really excited to have two amazing honorees in education, Dr. Scott Cowan and Dr. Norman C. Francis. So we'll be honoring them this year at Rosie Stass Hall.
And now, your website is cityyear.org/New Orleans.
Correct.
All the information can be found on that regarding the program, the fundraiser. It is a fundraiser, right?
It is a fundraiser, yes.
Volunteers, I mean, you've got young kids that are coming in to volunteer, but I mean, if I really wasn't a part of the AmeriCorps and I really like what you guys are doing, can I just volunteer from time to time to help out?
So our volunteer efforts are really structured. So our Corps members are structured interventionists in the schoolhouse. So we target students who are behind 2 to 3 grade levels, and they work full-time in the schools every day, Monday through Friday. And we joke, we say they only work a 12-hour day or a half a day because it's only 12 hours a day.
Right.
But for outside volunteers, it really is on our community service day. Like for MLK Day, we had about 300 community folks come out and volunteer and do service at our schools. So we have targeted community service days for them to serve. And then, of course, you can always help us out by buying a ticket to our event and doing those kind of things. Yeah,
and I say that because I just didn't want people to hear that it was something that people are signed up to do already, that you can go in and sign up. Again, cityyear.org/New Orleans. We're going to put that information on the screen. Schoolhouse Rock, it's always an incredible event. You guys do such a great job with that. Peggy, thank you so much for being on the show. You've been watching Across Louisiana. My name is Steve Sawyer, and we will see you next time.